Alright, so we do now. Face down.
Well, you're not. Steve isn't lying flat.
Oh, I know.
Oh, poor Steve. Oh,
I'm just showing how different I am.
There we go. Oh, the other way.
I think I'm very used to going to concerts where there's lots of performance, lots of light show, lots of lyric as well. And in fact, it was a huge contrast to go to performances where really the musicians played the instrument, and really there was nothing else in terms of stimulation. So you really focused upon the instruments, you really focused on the performance. And the incredible skill of the musicians. And I think as somebody looking for inspiration for an artistic idea, I particularly focused upon the instruments themselves, and then went away and researched the sort of history of these incredible musical machines. And I think the outcome for me, art-wise, will be to look at form and actually instrument design.
I really enjoyed the concerts that I went to and the talks that I went to at the festival. The first time I went was 1962. Macmillan was Prime Minister, and we had the Cuban Missile Crisis, and the Beatles released their first single, and I went to the Swansea Festival for the first time. What I noticed on this visit was the absence of young people. Where have they all gone? Because when I went, we went with a school group, and it was such a pity that there weren't more school children present at the festival, and I would have liked to have seen that. I do hope they come back.
The festival attracts some really excellent musicians and performers, but I think it's got an image problem with some people in Swansea. It's seen as mainly classical music, performed in temples of high culture and attended by an elite. So I think it'd be great if the festival could broaden its appeal and reflect more accurately the wealth and breadth of Swansea's culture by taking music concerts and other events out into more accessible, friendly community venues, and by bringing more alternative events, maybe even karaoke or pub singing, to the Brangwyn Hall.
The artists and the music and the films were all an amazing experience, a once-in-a-lifetime affair. I would have liked to have seen more people from different areas and different parts of Swansea and the culture of Swansea taking part and attending this and benefiting from what was available. I'd like to see a bit more diversity as well, bringing in other cultures. I know there were other cultures there, but more contemporary, more modern stuff maybe, like reggae, rapping, more of the day. There's so many people stuck in their homes and not attending or not having the advantage or the ability to get to these events. So my work is going to be based around that.
In regard to my work, in response to the Swansea International Festival, I focused on Kathak dancing, which is an Indian classical dance. And I looked at Eastern philosophy and mandalas and the work of Anthony Goldsworthy, because he laid out natural forms in the park, in mandala forms, and I was interested in this in relation to dance and how life is like a rhythm or a dance, and the expression of that in Eastern culture.
In response to the Swansea Festival, I went to a lot of musical events, and one of those that particularly stuck in my mind was the performance of the Four Seasons by La Serenissima. And I've taken one of those movements, the winter movement from the Four Seasons, and I'm developing a documentary about 3 artists from it. Well, I was very interested to discover that the Four Seasons, I didn't know the Four Seasons was actually part of a longer work of 12 violin concertos. And I also didn't know that Vivaldi was very interested in what's called program music, which is music that actually is meant to conjure up images and pictures. So in my research, I found that out, and also that he wrote poems which go with each of the seasons. So I'm hoping to incorporate those as well.
I was really inspired by some of the talks actually, and I made some really good contacts. I wrote a poem. Watching a talk about Les Paul, and there was some music history, and I love music history. And the multi-track recorder came up, and it struck me in the heart. Oh, multi-track, you've grasped my heart, a sigh from which you've stolen. A perfect picture, a bulk so sweet, my breath of awe emits. That doesn't actually make sense, does it? Emits to you, emits. Breath of awe emits to you. Oh, I'm done, I'm just babbling now.